If you grew up in a home where you felt like you needed to be perfect, if you grew up in a home where you felt like your parent was in competition with you, if you grew up in a home where you felt like your parent bullied you instead of lifted you up, then chances are you might have grown up in a home where one or both of your parents had narcissistic traits. Because I don't know them, I can't formally diagnose them with this, of course, but those are narcissistic traits, and those are very common tactics of manipulation. And the messages that narcissistic, or let's say self absorbed at best, parents can have on their kids. They have chronic feelings of inadequacy. They will feel like it's never enough. They might come home with a 95 on an exam, hoping that their parent is finally proud of them, and the parent looks at the grade and says, "Why didn't you learn 5% of the material?" You might have a narcissistic parent, okay? So if that's true, if this rings true for you, I would really look into this further, because the effects of having a narcissistic parent, the effects of this are very far reaching. It affects your relationships, your romantic relationships, your friendships. It affects you and the people that you work with. Because if you have that history of narcissistic abuse, you may go basically unconscious when someone is doing that to you. Unconscious because you still have wounds there. Or you are very tolerant to that because it feels normal to be manipulated, to feel not good enough, to feel like there's something wrong with you, to be very confused by people's behavior. So, if you grew up in a home where one or both of your parents had narcissistic traits, I would really encourage you to look into this further. I have lots of videos on YouTube, and also we'll make more videos here on TikTok about healing from narcissistic abuse. But look into it further, because it really requires a very specific skill set to cope with it. So stay tuned in.